matriarch is? A matriarch is a woman who is the head or ruler of her family. For this speech, I have used these following sources: BrandyQuotes.com, thedictionary.com, lyrics.com, worldatlas.com, and I've interviewed my great-grandmother, Merle Wilson. I'm here to pay tribute to my great-grandmother, Merle Wilson, the matriarch of our family, for she has overcome numerous obstacles, accomplished many things, and has been an inspiration to others. Heroic life, showing bravery or daring heroic deeds. I feel this describes my great-grandmother because after all she has been through, she has stayed strong and didn't let any of it get her down. My great-grandmother, Mamaw, was one of 9 children. She and her twin sister are the babies of her family. My Mamaw was born on August 18, 1917, in Flint, Texas. By the time she was 16, she was married and living in Gladewater, Texas. She lived there for 5 years before moving to Fairfield, Illinois, where her and her husband worked in the oil fields. My great-grandmother has traveled and lived in many places. She started in Flint, she moved to Lubbock, and after that, her father moved them back to Gladewater, where she got married. Her husband took a job in Fairfield, Illinois, where they stayed for a few years and started a family. Shortly after, they found themselves moving back and forth between Illinois and Texas. However, while living in Illinois, my great-grandmother was faced with many hardships. Depression started in 1934. During that year, she learned what it was like to live in a soldier camp, filled with 40 tents or so. Food and water was very limited. Each family was able to get 5 gallons a day of drinking water. The men workers there made up to $35 a week, and $5 of that went towards groceries. Times were tough, but she put her faith in the Lord and knew that they could make it through to survive. Another obstacle my great-grandmother was faced with was the pain and suffering of losing her first child. Sherilyn was born in 1934 and was taken by the disease polio in 1937. Back then, they didn't have any kind of vaccines to cure her sickness. However, 3 years later, she was blessed with another little girl named Patricia. Everyone who achieved success and great venture solved each problem as they came into it. They helped themselves, and they were helped through powers known and unknown to the time they set out on their voyage. They keep going regardless of the obstacles they meet, says Clement Stone. My Mamaw never meets a stranger. She loves to meet new people. My great-grandmother would lend a hand to anyone in need. In 1944, she bought and ran a hotel. This hotel consists of 14 rooms, 6 big rooms downstairs, and 8 medium-sized rooms upstairs. She wasn't just the owner, she was the cook as well as the housekeeper. She provided a meal for her guests every day. The hotel was located right off the railroad tracks, and the railroad crew was what brought in most of her business. The room rent per day was only $3, and the meals cost 50 cents to 75 cents. She sold the hotel in 1949. The hotel was moved to Mexia, where it was torn down to build several homes for those who were in need. Once she sold the hotel, she bought a small cafe located on the corner of Main Street in downtown Flint. She ran that cafe for 2 years. Then they left Flint to move back to Illinois. Her husband was offered a job working back in the oil field. In the oil field was where they made most of their money. However, they didn't stay long. She always told us there's no place like home, and once again, she was back in Flint. She continued to run another cafe, grocery store, just 8 miles up the road in a town called Robbins. By 1977, her and her husband were retired. Proverbs 31:26. When she speaks, her words are wise, and she gives instructions with kindness. You never know what life is going to throw at you, so always walk up to the plate ready to swing. Now, my great-grandmother is 91 years old. She can still drive her own car and able to live by herself. Twice a week, you will find her driving to a nearby town to play a game of dominoes or bridge with her fellow friends and church members. She has no problem carrying on a conversation with you or telling you what she thinks or how she feels. She has one daughter, 3 grandkids, 7 great-grandkids, and 3 great-great-grandkids who live within a mile from her. We're all very blessed to have her near us. She might be a little hard of hearing, but she'll always just shake her head at you, telling you, yep, as if she heard every word you said. She's such a character. My Mamaw is the oldest member of our church, and she has definitely paid her dues. She has done it all, from teaching every age group in Sunday school, to taking care of the nursery and being part of the choir. For many years, she was the women's ministry president. and took care of all the church records. If you just sit back and listen, you will hear the church ladies always saying something positive about her, how she's touched their lives or given them words of wisdom. Others who have heard her stories and testimonies are amazed at all the things that she's been through and done. There's of course this song that comes to mind when I try to describe how my mom has inspired me, and it goes, "Did you know that you're my hero and everything I'd like to be? I can fly higher than an eagle because you're the wind beneath my wings." It was wrote by Betty Milder. Overcoming obstacles, accomplishing many things, and inspiring others are my mama's top 3 qualities. I consider myself a very fortunate person. It's not every day that you see a family with 5 generations. Not all grandkids get to meet their great-grandmothers and learn about their lives and the things they've been through. You just heard these stories about this special lady, but I'd like for you to meet her as well. She's always told me that I'm the apple of her eye, but really she's the apple of my eye.
She is the apple of my eye. She's adorable. She's cute. Love her dearly. Do I go back and sit down now?